There are no more plagues like the ones the Egyptians suffered when they refused to let the Israelites go. But still, the world today suffers from plagues. We suffer from the effects of the pandemic, the devastation of war, poverty, global warming, corruption, and discrimination, to name a few. Can you see how most of these sufferings are caused by people like you and me? Jesus gave 9 direct commands to his followers in the 4 Gospels that can rid this world of these plagues. I am 100% positive that the more people keep these commands, the better this world will be. Welcome, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. People of every age and background begin each day facing unique challenges and struggles. Some struggle with financial worries, others with relationship issues, and others with isolation and loneliness. Amid all these struggles, there is hope. For in the teachings of Christ, we find a message of love and compassion that has the power to transform our lives and the world around us. Matthew 22 verses 37 to 40 says, "And Jesus replied to him, 'You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. The second is like it, you shall love your neighbor as yourself, that is, unselfishly seek the best or higher good for others.' The whole law and the writings of the prophets depend on these 2 commandments, a command so great that the whole laws and writings of the prophet depend on it." Jesus' actions are a model for us to follow when we talk about love. His complete obedience to the will of his Father, healing the sick, providing food for the hungry, demonstrating compassion for those who were in need, and voluntarily sacrificing himself on the cross to save humanity from their sins. This act exemplifies the highest level of love and selflessness. I must admit it is very hard to live up to Jesus' example, especially in our time. Unfortunately, more and more people continue to focus solely on their own needs and desires at the expense of others, rather than considering the impact of one's actions on others. Some refuse to compromise for others and refuse to share or show empathy or compassion for others. Of course, it is human to have self-centered tendencies at times, but we must do our best to counter them with acts of love, compassion, and service to others. Luke 9 verse 23 says, "And he was saying to them all, 'If anyone wishes to follow me as my disciple, he must deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me.'" When you think about the life of Jesus and his suffering, you realize that what he commands us to do is not easy. His life wasn't easy. Even him prayed to God in the final hours before he was crucified. Luke 22 verse 39 to 44. "And he came out and went, as was his habit, to the Mount of Olives, and the disciples followed him. When he arrived at the place, he said to them, 'Pray continually, that you may not fall into temptation.' And he withdrew from them about a stone's throw, and knelt down and prayed, saying, 'Father, if you are willing, remove this cup from me. Yet not my will, but yours be done.' Now an angel appeared to him from heaven, strengthening him. And being in agony, he prayed more intently, and his sweat became like drops of blood, falling down on the ground. My eyes are full with tears when I read this. He knew pain, suffering, and death awaited him, and still went ahead with it. Luke 9 to 23 refers to them as our cross. This means you are to set aside selfish interests, be willing to endure whatever may come, believe in Jesus, conform to his examples in living, and if need be, suffer faith in him. Jesus taught that love is a central virtue in our faith and essential for fulfilling and meaningful lives. This is not the love of the flesh or for material things, cars, money, jewelry, or self-love. This deep, passionate love makes you choose to obey and remain faithful to God. It saves, heals, and allows you to put others first. The first commandment, to love God with everything that we are, is based on the Old Testament commandment in Deuteronomy 6 verse 5, to love God with all one's heart, soul, and strength, with your entire being. This command is simple to understand. You love God, so you keep all His commandments. And what wrong could possibly come from following His commandments? I have thought about it and can't come up with any. If you can think of anything, please put it in the comments section. For the second part of that command, Jesus tells us how to treat each other in one of the most famous verses in the Bible. Some call it the Golden Rule, which says, "So then, in everything, treat others the same way you want them to treat you, for this is the essence of the law and the writings of the prophets." Matthew 7 verse 12. Then again, God tells us in Leviticus 19 verse 18, "You shall not take revenge, nor bear any grudge against the sons of your people, but you shall love your neighbor as yourself. I am the Lord." This is no longer Jesus speaking. This is God telling Moses. Can you think of what the world would look like if we practiced this? If we had this love in our hearts, the crime, violence, corruption, discrimination, and poverty rates will all reduce. Some people might say this isn't a real solution, or this isn't a practical way to solve any problem, but think about the acts of love performed by the likes of Mother Teresa. Think about the love in the sacrifice mothers and fathers make for their children. Think about how the fear of loss or the loss of a loved one drives people to do great things. Finally, think about how much love God has for us, that we rebel and disobey Him time and time again, but still, He sends His Son to pay the price for our sins. Look at the verse Isaiah 49 verse 15. "Can a woman forget a nursing child, and have no compassion on the son of the womb? Even these may forget, but I will not forget you." Find peace and comfort in that last line. God will never forget you. By showing compassion and kindness to those in need, we can bring hope and healing to them. We can create a ripple effect of positivity and change. Let us take Jesus' teachings to heart and strive to live lives of love and compassion. Doing so can positively impact our lives and the world around us. Listen to Jesus' command in Luke 6, verse 27 to 35. It comes with a reward greater than anything we could ever have on this earth. It reads, "But I say to you who hear, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless and show kindness to those who curse you, pray for those who mistreat you. Whoever strikes you on the cheek, offer him the other one also. Whoever takes away your coat, do not withhold your shirt from him either. Give to everyone who asks of you. Whoever takes away what is yours, do not demand it back. Treat others the same way you want them to treat you. If you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners love those who love them. If you do good to those who do good to you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners do the same. If you lend to those from whom you expect to receive, what credit is that to you? Even sinners lend to sinners, expecting to receive back the same amount. But love your enemies, and do good and lend, expecting nothing in return. For your reward will be great, and you will be sons of the Most High, because He Himself is kind and gracious and good to the ungrateful and the wicked. Simply ignore insignificant insults or losses, and do not bother to retaliate. Maintain your dignity. But today you are called a doormat if you try to follow these teachings. We have gone so far from what Jesus commands us to do that we shame people for living in a way that fulfills these commands. My hope and prayer is that we all be inspired by the love Jesus has for us and be moved to make the decision to live every day, doing our best to live by His examples. And when you are weak, pray to God for the strength to carry on. The rest of the video will focus on reading the other verses with the direct commands from Jesus. I am using the Amplified Bible version, so you might notice it has some extra words. These are there to enable the reader to better understand the message. You can take note of the verses and grab a different translation if you do not like this translation. I encourage you to listen to these verses. They call us to act in a way that will free humanity from itself. Matthew 5, verse 44 to 48. But I say to you, love. That is unselfishly seeking the best or higher good for your enemies, and pray for those who persecute you, so that you may show yourselves to be the children of your Father who is in heaven. For he makes his sun rise on those who are evil and on those who are good, and makes the rain fall on the righteous, those who are morally upright, and the unrighteous, the unrepentant, those who oppose him. For if you love only those who love you, what reward do you have? Do not even the tax collectors do that? And if you greet only your brothers, wishing them God's blessing and peace, what more than others are you doing? Do not even the Gentiles who do not know the law do that? You therefore will be perfect, growing into spiritual maturity both in mind and character, actively integrating godly values into your daily life, as your heavenly Father is perfect. Mark 12, verse 29 to 31. Jesus answered, "The first and most important one is, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. And you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength. This is the second. You shall unselfishly love your neighbor as yourself. There is no other commandment greater than these." John 13, verse 34 to 35. I am giving you a new commandment, that you love one another. Just as I have loved you, so you too are to love one another. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you have love and unselfish concern for one another. John 14 to 15. If you love me, you will keep and obey my commandments. John 14 to 21. The person who has my commandments and keeps them is the one who loves me, and whoever loves me will be loved by my Father. And I will love him and reveal myself to him. I will make myself real to him. John 15, verse 9 to 13. I have loved you just as the Father has loved me. Remain in my love, and do not doubt my love for you. If you keep my commandments and obey my teaching, you will remain in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commandments and remain in his love. I have told you these things so that my joy and delight may be in you, and that your joy may be made full, complete, and overflowing. This is my commandment, that you love and unselfishly seek the best for one another, just as I have loved you. No one has greater love, nor stronger commitment than to lay down his own life for his friends. And finally, John 15 to 17, this is what I command you, that you love and unselfishly seek the best for one another. Overall, Jesus' teachings on love encourage believers to love God and others with all their hearts, soul, and mind, and to extend compassion, kindness, and grace to those around them. This is where a better world begins. Thank you for taking the time to watch up to this point. Please remember to subscribe, hit the like button, and leave any comment you have below. Also, check out more videos on 21st century believers.